Hi, it's time for Street Talk, your voice and your views on the issues in the news. The U.S. military has embarked on a major image-building exercise. It's putting a positive spin on its activities in Iraq by starting a channel on YouTube. Military officials say the various clips of soldiers in gun battles, entertaining Iraqi children and reuniting kidnapped victims with their families will give the world a, quote, boots-on-the-ground perspective. The clips are edited for gratuitous violence, swear words and anything that may risk their security. In its first month alone, the channel was viewed more than 120,000 times with more than 1,900 subscriptions. They have become a political debating point for many viewers. Here's what you thought of this story. Russia and Pakistan thinks the military should focus its energy elsewhere. The US government is using much-needed funds and time to create a website rather than using it to help the Iraqi people. It doesn't matter what the videos show, the world will never approve of this occupation. Tom in New York is very happy the military is giving him this insider's perspective. From the material I've seen, I've been very impressed so far. It's great to see our troops fighting to help the Iraqi people, and now I can see it for myself. Fadi in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia thinks this is just propaganda. They want us to think that what they're doing in Iraq and all over the Middle East is right. This is a pathetic attempt to correct the vast mistakes they've committed. Well, it's not going to work. Staying with the US military, an investigation has just shown that former Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein was provided with Cuban cigars and hair dye while on trial. It's reported the cigars were bought because they were considered, quote, mission essential. The evidence surfaced after military officials began looking into the actions of Lieutenant Colonel William Steele, the former commander in charge of the detention center where Saddam and his aides were being held. In addition to the cigars and hair dye, it was discovered that the detainees were given clothing, dry cleaning, DVDs, televisions, and radios. Steele is also being investigated on 9 additional charges, one being that he gave inmates unmonitored mobile phones. Jared in New Mexico in the United States is really surprised. I can't believe our tax dollars were spent on making Saddam comfortable. After everything he did to the Iraqi people, we make sure his last days on earth are happy ones. What were they thinking? The information changed the opinion of Layla in Beirut. I honestly thought the US government would be abusing Saddam while he was in their custody. To find out that they were giving him the royal treatment came as quite a shock. I don't think as poorly of them as I used to. Yasser in Virginia doesn't seem to care about this investigation. So what, Saddam Hussein got to dye his hair that ridiculous black and was able to smoke Cubans? The man is dead, and that's what's important. For many villagers in the landlocked Central African countries, the Scottish ferry, the Ilala, is their only means of crossing Lake Malawi. The numerous villages along the lakeshore have no road network, so they rely on the bi-weekly Ilala ferry as their means of transportation to neighboring countries which surround the lake. Passengers use the ship to transport goods and visit relatives in these neighboring areas. It can carry up to 400 passengers at a time, stopping in 13 ports along the way. The boat was built in Scotland in 1952 and is named after the village where the Scottish explorer and missionary David Livingstone died in 1873. Now, if someone had taken a webcam photo of the ferry, we could have added it to this next clip we're about to show you. Someone managed to take 88 webcam photos from around the world and compile them into a short video. We can't show you the entire clip, but here are a few shots. There you go, cheap travel around the world in 88 shots. That's it. Until next time, do keep sending in your questions and comments and point us to anything interesting or amusing for Street Talk. Remember, what you see here isn't necessarily the view of Al Jazeera. Some of the content has been edited, but for time and space reasons only. And that's the talk on the street.